Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Arsenic and Espresso. I'm Alice Arsenic. This is my co-host Josh, and this is a podcast where we sometimes talk about things that are metal. We are finally closing out the final chapter of our Ice Nine Kills reactions. We
Yes.
kind of dropped the ball on that.
Yeah, somebody
Mostly 'cause
commented.
I forgot about it.
Right? Somebody commented. I don't know what
Just
song that
a
was
couple
on,
of videos
but
ago.
yeah, that we needed to finish off the trilogy from their older album.
Yeah.
So that's what we're doing today.
The Nature of the Beast, which is based off the book Animal Farm by George Orwell. I think. Yes, George Orwell.
Mm-hmm. Have you watched that book?
Have I watched that book? Yes, I did in high school. It's been a while. It's the least, I remember it the least out of all the George Orwell books that I read. But I do remember the general gist of it. The animals become sentient and then they overthrow the farmer and then it becomes like a communist thing or like a something fascist.
Gotcha.
I think it becomes more fascist.
Okay.
Because like the pigs are like for the best.
All right.
Very interesting. Anyway, you should read some George Orwell. 1984 is good. Animal Farm is good. Brave New World is good. Brave New World is not by George Orwell. Never mind. Brave New World is by Aldous Huxley.
All right.
Anyway, literature lesson aside, let's react to this video.
Yeah, I'm stoked to get into this video because they were one of our favorite bands that we discovered last year.
Yeah.
So.
Well, good morning, folks. Continuing our units on contemporary world history.
That's the same guy who plays the therapist.
Oh, you're right.
He's someone's dad.
I wonder
or
if
something.
it's along the same storyline. You know, like the Pixar universe.
Who would like to tell me what they thought of The Nature of the Beast?
I saw a lot of analogs to the roles of Trotsky and Lenin in the glorious October Revolution.
Exactly. Now, who would like to tell me what in particular was analogous to the Bolshevik Revolution? Yes, I thought you may be a little overcome with sentiment to discuss this today, so I came prepared with a video adaptation. Even though I know you all read it.
So come one, come all to the crumbling walls of our city, now painted with red. As the stench of defeat emanates through the streets, is the life we once dreamed of now dead. But we won't break, we will fight, we will storm through the night, enslaved to their game nevermore. With the locks on our cage broken off by the rage, now it's time to settle the score. We are the frayed, we are the torn, we are the beaten and the scorned. And now you force the beast to bare its teeth. We'll come in droves like animals, hungry to reclaim our control. As we fight to bind the bitter endless fate. We are the free. We are the free. We are the free.
I forgot how much I like this band.
I was literally just
honest.
thinking the exact same thing.
And I know we made the comparison, or rather, since we made that comparison to the other.
Brendan Urie.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just the metal Brendan Urie.
He is the metal Brendan Urie.
Like theater core.
Spencer has such a theatrical voice.
Mhm.
And that's where I see the resemblance to Brendan Urie. It is theatrical. It is very Broadway-esque. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
his voice is on a different level than most metal singers, simply because I feel like he did a lot of like maybe like show tunes in high school.
Right. Yeah. Choir and all that. Yeah. No, it totally makes sense. And then, but I like it because the video adaptation, right? I mean, they have the ability to do like crazy SFX and stuff with all of their videos, and they chose to film it like a play.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
And I thought that was really
I like that.
Good breakdown.
So what good is it to find a success solution? Another power-hungry bias fucking institution. We took the void, we took the day. What kind of broken powerhouse do we create? We took the void, we started again. We became the very thing that we hate. We are the frayed, we are the torn, we are the beaten and the scorned. And now you're forced the beast to bare its teeth. We will come in droves like animals, hungry to reclaim our control. As we fight to bite the bitter hand that feeds. We are the frayed. We are the frayed. We are the frayed. We are the frayed. Where is the end? What have we done? We're what we swore we'd not become. Despite intent, a noble heart still bleeds. Time goes on and history repeats.
So, what do we think?
It was kind of horrifying.
Well, yes, hypocrisy generally is.
That was unnerving.
Yeah,
There at the
yeah.
very end.
A little unsettling. Yeah.
Yeah, if I remember correctly in the book, the animals become self-aware,
Hmm.
and they just like in the music video, they like form this uprising, and they kill the humans, and they're like, we're going to be free, we're going to be safe, da da da.
Yeah.
And then the pigs are like, they create the world that they just escaped from. So
Yeah.
the pigs become virtually the farmer.
Yeah.
They start to harm the other animals, and they get away with it,
For their
and like
own
all this
good
stuff.
and everything. Yeah.
And it's just that it's that same dystopian trope of, anyone greedy with power will abuse the power and will create
Right.
just as dangerous and miserable a world as you had before.
Yeah.
And the cycle will just continue itself.
Well, I like Animal Farm a lot because of like how they used animals, right? So that it's more than just like telling a story about like what's going on in today's era, right? But you being able to put it into, I mean, this is what you see with like Disney movies and like Pixar movies and all that sort of stuff. They put real life scenarios, right, into a cartoon or animal form or something like that, so that you can kind of shrug it off in a way, so that you can
it a little more.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And then realize like, oh wait, this is exactly what we're dealing with
Well,
now.
because humans don't like a commentary on themselves.
No.
We don't like the critique
Right.
of ourselves. But if it's in a fable form and a narration form about something else, then we're like, yes, there are lessons to be learned here.
Right.
But it's never, I should learn these lessons. It's all of you should learn these lessons, right?
Yeah.
This whole series of the books that they chose, I think they chose, first of all, great books. I think it's very interesting that they started with horror, because we had The Exorcist and Harry.
Yeah.
And then Animal Farm.
Mm-hmm.
And Animal Farm sticks out from that simply based off like the genre of writing. But then like you realize it's just as scary because it is a social commentary. It ends up being just as scary as these horror stories are.
Definitely.
Because nothing is scarier than people.
Once again, a catchy chorus.
Oh, so catchy. I know
that.
we've said it in all of them, but they really have just mastered they've mastered that conceptual storytelling. Because when we first reacted to Silver Scream, I was very kind of like in disbelief that they would be able to write a full-length studio album about such specific stories and it not seem campy or satirical in any way.
Like it's not Weird Al or The Lonely Island, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Because I feel most of the time, as I've said in every Einstein video, when you get musicians, artists, whatever you want to call them, write music about whether it's books or movies, it is typically comedy. Like they make comedy out of it.
Right.
Like it'll be whatever topic, but they turn it into
like
something
entertainment
funny.
first.
Yes.
And
content
then
after.
Yeah.
And so I had very low expectations for the Silver Scream. So I had very high expectations for every trick in the book. And this just was the nail in the coffin. It is exactly what I hoped it would be.
Yeah.
And it is just as good as all of the other ones.
Yeah.
And just as unsettling.
Definitely. Well, let's break down the lyrics.
What is the song? Dark Lord? What?
No, it's
Nature of the Beast.
Nature of the Beast. The Dark Lord.
So come one and come all to the crumbling walls of our city, now painted with red. As the stench of defeat emanates through the streets, is the life we once dreamed of now dead? But we won't break, we will fight, we will storm through the night, enslaved to their game nevermore. With the locks on our cage broken off by the rage, now it's time to settle the score. We are the frayed, we are the torn, we are the beaten and the scorned, and now you forced the beast to bare its teeth. We'll come in droves like animals, hungry to reclaim our control. As we fight to bite the bitter hand that feeds, we are the frayed, we are the frayed, we are the frayed. Beyond the barricade, oh, can't you hear that sound? The march of tortured souls screaming, burn this place to the ground. The pack you played for fools, the herd you led astray. Now run the slaughterhouse, welcome to Judgment Day. You'll pay in blood as your retribution, so let's gather at the gallows for this execution. We are the frayed, we are the torn, we are the beaten and the scorned, and now you've forced the beast to bare its teeth. We'll come in droves like animals, hungry to reclaim our control, as we fight to bite the bitter hand that feeds. And when the new day dawns upon our master plan, just hold your rifles still and then wait for my command. We'll kill like savages because we're unbreakable. And what did you expect? We're fucking animals. Though what good is it to find the same sad solution? Another power-hungry, biased fucking institution. We took the fort, we stormed the gates, and what kind of crooked paradox did we create? We took the fort, we stormed the gates, but became the very thing that we hate. We are the frayed, we are the torn, we are the beaten and the scorned, and now you force the beast to bare its teeth. We'll come in droves like animals, hungry to reclaim our control. As we fight to bite the bitter hand that feeds, we are the frayed, we are the frayed, we are the frayed, we are the frayed. Where is the end? What have we done? We're what we swore we'd not become. Despite intent, a noble heart still bleeds. Time goes on and history repeats.
Mm-hmm.
The whole reason English teachers in high school and college had us read dystopian novels was so that way, perhaps when the power was in our control, we would not allow those same institutions to take place.
Right.
And having just come off of an insurrection at the Capitol and a inauguration that we feared would be more of a mass murder.
Right.
Right. It's quite bone chilling. First of all, this song came out 2 years ago, but the book itself came out But the book itself came out in 1945.
Right. Yeah, well, and I think you see that on, like, it's like they said, it just repeats, right? But it's a repeating political thing on, like, both sides of the aisle, if you're talking about, like, American politics, right? That they read the first part of the book, and they were like, yeah, we need to overthrow, right? But each, you see political figures all over that are like, yeah, we need to overthrow so that we can have power, so that we could be the people pushing people down.
Right.
And that's...
And you're like, you clearly didn't finish the book.
Obviously not what is good for people. So, because it just goes back and forth, and then there's just blood on the street.
Well, and I think you were telling me, as of about, like, because when are we filming? This is January 24th. I believe right around a month ago, you pointed out to me that based off the rhetoric that was being allowed on Twitter and Facebook, that within the same, like rules of freedom of speech or whatever, that Hitler would have been able to be posting his rhetoric on these social media platforms.
Right. Yeah.
And like if that doesn't just put like the most sinking feeling in your stomach, then I don't know what will.
Right.
Like,
but then if you have, then an uprising saying, oh, okay, well, we need to ban free speech Twitter, and we need to take everything into our own hands. Well, then there's that tug of war back and forth of, okay, well, they're trying to take all the power now, so now we really have something to fight for. And then there's the other side saying, okay, no, like, you are the power hungry people that we need to take the power away from.
It literally comes down to the fact that our two-party system is completely fucked.
Yeah. And
like this two extremist right wing, left wing way of thinking, all it is detrimental and to like humans.
Yeah.
Like all it does is end in our deaths.
And I mean, every time a new person takes office, just more and more power goes towards the government and away from the people.
Yeah.
And it's just, back and forth, and nobody can actually put an end to anything because it just goes back to the way it was or worse the next time. Yeah.
And history just repeats itself.
Crazy. Ugh. So, I mean, to get political, but not to go too far political, hopefully. I
mean, that's not new from anything else we've posted so far. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, hit that thumbs up. Let us know down below. Did you read Animal Farm? Did you read any George Orwell? Did you read other dystopian novels ever? I did, and I love them very much. My favorite is probably Brave New World by Aldous Huxley, one of my favorites. Anyway, thank you for sitting through all of this, and we will see you next time.